500 किलो कोकेन सीज की है, जिसकी स्ट्रीट वैल्यू लगभग $50 मिलियन तक की है।
9 जने अरेस्ट किए हुए हैं, 9 पीपल आर अरेस्टेड और उन्हों की जी पिक्चर असी स्क्रीन पर दिखा रहे हैं। प्रोजेक्ट पैलिकन जिहदे अंदर पील पुलिस ने जिहड़ा ड्रग कैच किया है अलॉन्ग विद द CBSA, जिहदी वैल्यू 50 मिलियन, स्ट्रीट वैल्यू 50 मिलियन के अप्रॉक्सीमेटली है। 500 kg ऑफ कोकेन ड्रग सीज्ड, वैल्यू अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 50 मिलियन। सो जिहदे 9 जने अरेस्ट किए हुए हैं, 9 पीपल आर अरेस्टेड और उन्हों की जी पिक्चर असी स्क्रीन पर दिखा रहे हैं। सो पील पुलिस, CBSA एंड मल्टीपल एजेंसीज they have discovered, they have captured this drug seized जेड़ा कि 500 million the street value along with 9 arrests and many charges. Let's see what Chief and Investigator Officers has to say.
And today, as you see in front of you, 479 kilograms of cocaine are off our streets. 9 individuals have been arrested and a transitional criminal network has been dismantled. This is no small effort and months in the making and countless hours to bring us here today. It shows that when given the tools and resources, our officers can accomplish absolutely anything. And I can tell you, seizures like this make a huge difference in the well-being of our Ontario communities. Whenever we get illicit substances off our streets, we are quite literally saving lives and protecting Ontario. And that's exactly what our government ran on in our recent election that concluded on February 27th, protecting Ontario. It means protecting Ontario economically, but it also means protecting Ontario with a public safety priority in mind. And I want to say a few words about Peel Regional Police Service. This police service isn't just a police service. They are a flagship in Ontario that leads by example, that is commanded by exceptional individuals. And in this building in a few weeks, more new cadets will find their way to the Ontario Police College to proudly wear the flash of Peel. Peel Police Service has done everything that they can to protect the incredible communities of Mississauga and Brampton, and I'm very grateful. And public safety for our government led by Premier Ford doesn't just mean anything, it means absolutely everything.
Project Pelican began 1 year ago, June of 2024, when our Specialized Enforcement Bureau investigators discovered an organized criminal network smuggling drugs through commercial trucking lines from the United States in the Peel region. As you know, here in Peel, we have the largest logistics hub outside of Los Angeles. And what that means is that vulnerabilities in logistics systems can be exploited by criminal networks to their advantage. And I think, needless to say, you would all agree, the focus on borders aren't physically just at the border. They affect communities right across this province. And here at Peel, we are destined to make sure we contribute to strengthening the safety net of this country, but this community right here in Peel. It would not have been possible without the government of Ontario through the Criminal Intelligence Service of Ontario.
When you see what's here before you today, it's impressive. Almost 500 kilograms of cocaine that were destined for our streets. It's over 1,000 pounds. Approximately $50 million worth of illegal drugs that would have gone into a very violent criminal activity. That is no longer going to reach our streets. But when you consider that with the complexity of the way crime has evolved today, the face of crime, it's no longer a person within your jurisdiction that's responsible for it. It's transnational crime with complexity and barriers attached to it, which despite all of those barriers and the complexities attached to crime that's now investigated, our team was able to successfully bring this project to a close and bring 9 people who were importing drugs into our country to justice. Every gram, every kilogram that we stop from coming to our community saves lives. Every firearm illegal firearm that we seize off the street saves lives. And as the chief said, this should serve as a very, very simple message. If you target our community, if you attempt to take advantage of the vulnerable in our community, we will arrest you and bring you to justice. And even as we sit here today, our team is out there doing just that. Our work isn't done, and if you come to Peel to do these types of things, you can expect you will be arrested and charged, regardless of where in the world you are. This investigation has led to the arrest and charges for the following 9 individuals for multiple drug offenses and firearm offenses.
And they solved them. You know, when Deputy Chief Milovic said, you know, if you commit acts of criminality in Peel Region, you will be arrested and brought to justice. I want that to be known far and wide, that that's the capacity here. This is the worst place to commit a crime because PRP is the best of the best when it comes to dismantling that activity. I also want to say how lucky we are to have Chief Nish. An incredible chief of police, but when it comes to border security, there's a reason he's been called to meet with Homeland Security in Washington, why he's been called to speak about this in Ottawa, as he is one of the sharpest minds in the country when it comes to what we can do and do a better job at in terms of protecting the integrity of our border and our communities and how it's all interconnected. But when you look at this display, the largest heist of illicit drugs in Peel Region history, this will save lives. This will save lives. This is violence and drugs that's not going to be on our streets. And for that, this is why you invest in policing. This is why you make sure that Chief Nish has the resources to do his job, because with those resources, they make our community safer. I also want to say how impressive it is that PRP continues to use every tool possible to bring those who are committing acts of criminality in our region to justice. The fact that they were using drones and new technology to support this investigation is really incredible. I say, and I've said this a few times, I'm sure there could be movies done on some of these Peel police investigations because they're just that impressive. So on behalf of my residents, I wanted to say thank you to PRP, to Cbsa, and to all those in law enforcement part of this really successful investigation. And today, the city, the region, the country is safer because of their work. Thank you.
Sir, cartels are saying that cartels are flying fentanyl precursors to Canada, and especially in the Vancouver. There they are manufacturing it and then distributing across the globe, including USA. This is a statement made by FBI director. And also the India says that our most wanted, many of them, they are here in Canada. And what is Cbsa? Because when these questions were put in front of the immigration minister, they said it's all up to the Cbsa. What Cbsa has to say on this?
Well, I'll start off by saying there are efforts that are being made and improvements to the tools that we have available to us to identify those precursors that are coming in. We are working with Health Canada in terms of updating the regulations and allowing us to have the ability to actually seize those precursors on entry. We're also working closely with our law enforcement partners because we are aware of the manufacturing that's happening domestically, and our intent is to try and figure out how it's getting out of Canada and seizing them on export. So we do have export authorities to seize and arrest individuals involved in moving contraband illegally out of Canada as well.
Non-permanent resident, if they are charged and convicted, should they be deported? This question was put to the politician, to our immigration minister, honorable immigration minister, and again the answer was it's all up to the Cbsa. So what is the Cbsa stand on this?
Yes, so our legislation, the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, does require any foreign national, so that's that non-permanent resident you're referring to, if they're convicted of a serious offense in Canada, they will be deported and removed from Canada.
Whether they are being deported from last few years or they are not, because many of them were.
Yeah, so there is a legal process that goes through with any individual that has a removal order issued against them. They have the rights to appeal in certain circumstances, but our objective is to remove those individuals from Canada, and we've been doing so. So we've increased our number of removals. I think we were at about 18,000 last year, and we have an increased goal for the next 2 years as well. So we do remove inadmissible foreign nationals from Canada.
Thank you.
So very, very excited to make this announcement today. So almost 500 kilograms, approximately $50 million worth of cocaine seized as a result of the hard work of our women and men, and really, really happy that that will not be making the streets of Peel Region.
And we want to make sure the community knows here at Peel Police, this is the largest seizure of drugs that we've had in our history. But there's so many amazing things about Peel, Brampton, Mississauga. We have a great logistics industry, which is the heartbeat of our economy. But we know criminal organizations, they try to exploit those vulnerabilities. And this is one example of us working with our federal and international partners to stop these criminal networks, charge 9 people, bring them before the courts, and there's more work to be done.
A great news for public safety today because of the exceptional work of our dedicated and courageous police officers at PRP. Project Pelican has taken $50 million of dangerous drugs off the street. Working with Homeland Security and Cbsa, this is a win for public safety. Organized crime, transnational organized crime, trying to take cocaine from the southern border in the US all the way into Canada through the US is an attack on the safety of our communities, and they were stopped because of the great work of PRP, and they're not going to stop. They're going to continue to do whatever they can to make sure organized crime cannot act in our community.
So the Peel Regional Police launched an investigation called Project Pelican into some commercial trucks that they had identified were smuggling Schedule I narcotics, namely cocaine, across the Canada-US border into Canada with a destination of Peel Region. So the CBSA was contacted by Peel Regional Police, and we worked jointly on this investigation. We were able to identify at least 2 trucks that were coming into Canada with significant amounts of cocaine, totaling approximately 175 kilograms. We identified those trucks, stopped them. Our Border Services officers at these 2 bridges were able to seize that contraband and arrest the individual truck drivers. We then worked jointly with Peel Regional Police to move forward on investigating the individuals who were involved in organizing the movement of those trucks into Canada and ensuring that all persons were held to account and charged criminally before our courts. So I think there's a multi-pronged effort that will be required for us to improve our ability to secure our borders. So as you mentioned, this is the longest undefended border in the world. There's a lot of different terrain across the border. So our partnerships with both our US partners as well as our Canadian domestic law enforcement agencies are vital in ensuring our ability to secure our borders. So we are currently working quite closely with US border agencies, including the Customs Border Protection, Border Patrol, Homeland Security Investigations, the Coast Guard, and their air and marine operations to create a new way of securing our border, ensuring that we have domain awareness, and then managing those individuals who are trying to get legitimate goods into Canada while investigating and arresting those individuals who are trying to seek to have contraband enter.
Yes, this is Project Pelican, a year-long drug importation project undertaken by Peel Police in the Specialized Enforcement Bureau, which I'm the Detective Sergeant in. We arrested nine people in this year-long project. 6 of those people have already had their bail hearings and have been released with conditions, and three other people are still awaiting their bail hearings. It is, yeah, this is the largest cocaine seizure in the history of Peel. Yeah, so we worked with the Cbsa as well as some US partners. Internationally in the US, we worked with the DEA as well as Homeland Security Border Enforcement Task Force. We also work with some other municipal partners as well from around the GTA.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਮੇਜਰ ਅਨਾਉਂਸਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਨ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਪੈਲਿਕਨ ਬਾਰੇ, ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੀਲ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੇ ਹਿਸਟੋਰਿਕ ਰੈਕਡ ਲੈਵਲ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਡਰੱਗ ਬਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ 500 ਕਿਲੋ ਕੋਕੇਨ ਸੀਜ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਦੀ ਸਟਰੀਟ ਵੈਲਿਊ ਲਗਭਗ $50 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਤੱਕ ਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਜ਼ਰੀਏ ਅਸੀਂ 9 ਵਿਅਕਤੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਰੈਸਟ ਅਤੇ ਚਾਰਜ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ 2 ਹੈਂਡਗਨਾਂ ਵਿਦ ਐਮੂਨੀਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਸੀਜ਼ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਹਨ। 9 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ 3 ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਹਜੇ ਬੇਲ ਦੀ ਅਵੇਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ ਤੇ 6 ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਰਿਲੀਜ਼ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ ਵਿਦ ਕੰਡੀਸ਼ਨਸ।